I slaughtered that Moody Blues song. Eddie Money was rolling through that 222 this morning. I caught him on the radio real early. He said he didn't go by 222 much anymore. He does the 222. Eddie Money guy.
Yeah, 10. I haven't heard him for a minute.
He was out here rolling through town this morning real early.
Interesting.
Usually only hear him, people responding to him out in the skip.
Yeah, I've only ever heard him in skip.
I told him that too. I said, man, I only usually hear you out in the skip or people calling back to you in the skip. I said, that's cool, you're rolling through town. He was throwing a wave to Zodiac, but Zodiac weren't out there. He was busy doing something apparently.
Yeah, 10.
But I rolled that nickel to him later anyway. I just thought it was real cool. Caught him when he's rolling through with his truck. He was passing by through Tumwater there. Eddie Money, also known as the 222, used to call himself the 222, but he quit doing that recently.
Was he singing 2 Tickets to Paradise?
That was a good one. Good evening, Dirtman.
Yep, good evening, guys. I always got some kind of fucking smart aleck comment, don't I?
Good timing.
Yeah, I was gonna say you always have impeccable timing on it, too.
I just come in and turned it on here, too, so that's perfect timing. Shower going, folded some laundry, yeah.
Get a chance to check that moon out there Dirtman?
No, but I will. As the wife said last night, man, I noticed that I could see a little bit out the corner of the windows in the bedroom. It was lit up out there pretty good, but I will go out and take a peek.
Oh man, I saw the moon last night. I didn't even bother looking tonight. I'm gonna have to take note while I'm out there.
Sing that song, When the Moon
is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love will steer the stars. It is the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
be the one. I'll be back. I'm gonna go take a peek.
Shoulder length or longer, here baby, there mama, everywhere daddy, oh hair, glowing, growing, flowing, long as I keep growing my hair.
Well, it's gonna get good now.
my flashlight.
Oh, it looks like somebody's got the spotlight on you when you go out there.
No doubt, it's right. You look out at my driveway and straight up above the trees. There she's sitting pretty, but 32 degrees here. That's probably what I got. Yeah.
Yeah, but did you go out and look at the moon yet, Maytag?
No. I noticed this morning, though, it was a full moon.
Oh, were you looking in Beavis's window this morning?
You could get blinded by the full moon.
I used to have one of those.
Yeah, another song, Blinded by the Light. I had the same thought, Dirt. You know, Blinded Light, I had the same song. Looks like the moon in the something of the night.
We were blinded by the light, wrapped up like a deuce, another runner in the night. Look it up, that's what the words are.
Deuce. I think it's douche. The sky was dark, the moon was high. We're all alone, just she and I. Her hair was light brown, her eyes were blue. I knew just what she wanted to do.
Yeah, that song's about his deuce coupe there. Look it up. It's wrapped up like another runner, another deuce in the night.
The one that I don't get is the little early birdie came by in her curly whirly. That one doesn't make sense to me at all.
Ooh, the curly whirlies.
That's okay, he's checking out the weather chart to see if it's safe outside, you know.
That's for you second geners.
Leave the curly whirlies to us, Al.
That one verse, though, is so misquoted of that song. It's not wrapped up like another douche in the night. That's funny. But a lot of people hear that song that way, but they don't bother to look it up or listen after that.
Yeah, but the lyric I gave out is a real part of that song. The little early birdie came by in her curly whirly is like a real lyric, which is totally not what I thought he was saying, but it is what he's saying. And as far as the revved up like a deuce, yeah, I knew that part of it.
Yeah, and don't forget about old Mozart checking out his weather chart to see if it was safe outside, you know.
But I don't think it was supposed to make sense.
No.
I think he was a little high when he wrote that.
Oh, God, it might have been the late 70s, early 80s. I can't remember, but I think the Coliseum. You're ancient. Guy that wanted you to open up. He's out in Covington. I could hear him.
So walk right in, sit right down. Daddy, let your mind roll the horn. Everybody's talking about a new way of walking. Do you want to lose your mind? I'm saying walk right in, sit right down. Daddy, let your mind roll on.
You ever been to a concert, Maytag, over there at the Gorge? I've not been to the Gorge. Yeah, I've done a couple of them. It's pretty cool.
You been to a Lollapalooza concert?
And then Steve Miller. I've seen Pat Benatar back in the day in the Paramount. What about Joan Jett? I didn't get to see Joan Jett. I like Hell is for Children, man. Yeah, Pat Benatar's pretty good. And I've been to a couple Pink Floyd concerts. They're awesome, too. Oh, yeah.
We are young, heartache to heartache we stand. No promises, no demands, each of us knowing love is a battlefield.
You remember Thin Lizzy?
This too.
Thin, yeah. Didn't they do The Boys Are Back in Town? Was that them?
I believe so.
They were asking if you were around where you could be found. I told them you were living off of Nicholson.
Nicholson, 1054.
Where's that biohazard? You sandbagging? I'll say nope.
Who's the biohazard, Sweet Pea?
Not one of the neighbors up here behind us, kind of.
Oh, gotcha.
The problem there. It was pretty messed up. I don't even know how they got it to work.
I'll throw a quick wave to that GM if you're out there.
I didn't hear him.
Well, I didn't hear him, but I figured he might be begging. He threw me off the other night. He come in there and waved, and I was like, thank God NATO saved the night.
Yeah, he bends my needle over here pretty good.
He's the real needle bender, huh?
Yeah, not that fake ass one in Tacoma.
Koopa.
Can you guys hear that guy over there, Maytag and Dirtman?
I can hear him barely, sometimes louder, but most of the time just barely.
I think that was Al.
I can hear a audio trace on that guy when he's talking, and people are acknowledging that he's there. Then I know the audio trace is him, but that's the only way I can tell that audio trace is him.
He's been getting a little mouthy lately. That's a good thing he's up that way, though.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I don't have to deal with it. It's just like Froggy. He's just an audio trace. Enough to know that he's there agitating people up there, but not down here.
Oh, besides Al. What are you guys talking about?
That's like that catfish. He's a mud duck over here, and Kumpa or Kumpai or whatever. He's a duck, and there's a couple other, and I probably am.
I think they're calling him the Wiener Bender now, because he was trying to go by Needle Bender, that one duck. And then there's Froggy. And I don't know if you guys can hear Froggy, but I barely hear him too.
Nah, I think I've heard him on the gate, but I thought they were trying to call him Ball Swallower.
Oh, well, there was Ball Gagger. That's like Sweet Pea's brother or something. I don't know. I think he was going by Pole Smoker, and then Kaz started calling him Ball Gagger.
Right, and then you got left field and right field.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I can hear Froggy, no problem.
Now you got a straight shot down the water, huh?
Hey, yes, I don't know, but yeah, I don't have any problem hearing him.
Do you hear that other little duck they're talking about? The only time I could ever hear that guy is up on the hill, or if I go down when I was dating somebody up in Tacoma, up near Hilltop, and up there I could hear him. But that, like, as soon as you get away from like the mall, I couldn't hear him anymore.
Oh yeah, no, I hear the other one too. Even on my low antenna.
You know who I haven't heard in a long time from Covington is Kelvinator.
Oh man, I ain't heard him out here for a while.
He's been missing in action, I'll say maybe 4 or 5 years.
At least 2. That's a refrigerator.
I think his fridge went bad or something. He used to get in here and chit-chat with us. I don't know what happened to him.
I think the last time I heard Kelvinator out here, Moose was still out here on the radio.
Oh, fucking Moose Knuckle. I miss him.
The other day I heard somebody talking to, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Jedi, but he was talking to Town and Country. That's somebody I hadn't heard out here in a while. I couldn't hear them. They were in like a mobile, but they were out there.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. He's up in like Meridian, Spanaway area. Yeah.
I haven't heard Country Cadillac. He's down south of us a little ways.
Yeah, there's been a few people coming back to the radio, it sounds like, which is that's a good thing. They'll probably, a lot more of them will come back in the winter, you know, when they're trapped inside and it's freezing cold and they're snowed in.
Yeah, good place to hang out.
I know there's one of them that told me that was supposedly his plan, is to get his base station back going in the winter.
Can't forget about over here on the Mudflow Plateau, Wapato Radio.
On the mud flat.
Wapato Radio.
Sitting back, relax.
Putting out some big whiskeys.
Whiskey's out there.
I like that guy. That guy used to crack me up.
Oh yeah, he was pretty cool.
And you could hear him anywhere no matter where he was keying from, you could hear him.
Yeah, I called that great big gnarly audio.
And echoed in the sounds of silence.
Just let it happen.
Yeah, you sound good there, Dutchman.
Just relax and let it happen. It'll be fine.
And the channel was quiet.
Damn, I bought this sweet chili sauce, great big thing at Costco. The gal had samples out with a little rice. And man, it's some good, so we bought a bottle of it. It was like under $5, and man, is that some good stuff.
Some sweet chili sauce, huh? So it's kind of sweet and tangy, spicy?
Yeah, but it's got a really good flavor to it.
Well, I'll have to check it out next time I'm rolling around the free samples.
There was a lot of that going on today, man. I think I hit every goddamn one. I almost got full.
Well, that's like half of going to Costco, is to try everything for free that you can try.
Oh, I was hitting them up a couple times. The lady's like, well, hang on, it'll be done here in just a minute. So I ain't going anywhere.
Well, and at the end of the day, if they don't cook it all, they have to throw it away because it's just sitting out there.
Oh, if you're there at quitting time, they tell you, grab a bunch of it.
It's a damn good company, man. They treat their employees right, and they got that, they keep the prices down. That hot dog and a soda hasn't changed its price since they started selling it.
Oh yeah, I heard you, Deer Slayer. Oh yeah, you're wall to wall.
He must be down in a hole out towards you.
Almost sounds like you're water skiing out here. Maybe an extra blanket tonight. Here you go, man. That should make a nice warm pillow anyway, huh? Sounds like my wife until I let one loose, but she come out of there like the fucking place was on fire the other night.
Afterburn effects from that sweet chili sauce, right?
She didn't appreciate it.
They never do.
I never understand because sharing is caring.
Now it's chili.
Good evening, Rip.
Yep, good evening all y'all. Station 10 waving at Rips. Was that number 10 down in the swamp too? Yep, Station 10 waving. Station 10, good evening. I better hurry up and get another coffee before that they all drink it all. I'll be back in a bit.
Yeah, drink it quick so it doesn't become iced coffee.
Better get some quick before it's all gone.
I got mine all set up for tomorrow already.
Gotta love that timer function.
I got it on there. I don't use it because this thing actually brews it pretty quick. By the time I get around going, get the fire lit up real quick, and within about 5 minutes or less, I drew up about 8.5 cups. The wife only drinks one, and out of that I get about 3.
Nice.
And I drink a strong black cup of coffee, man.
I like to grind my beans first thing in the morning.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to do it.
I'm definitely with Inspector on that one. I love those fresh ground beans.
I get up when the wife's alarm goes off and I make coffee and then I go back to bed for about an hour and a half. And then I get up and have coffee.
Oh man, you have to lay there and smell it the whole time?
No, I go back to sleep.
And I could smell it clear at the other end of the house, man.
Forgot there was a lunar eclipse tonight. I'm kind of bummed I missed that.
Well, yeah, last night it was cloudy. I don't think you'd have seen it.
Yeah, Deer Slayer, I think it was just after moonrise.
Now, you know, I did hear something about it. I forgot about it.
I thought about it when I got up at like 4 a.m., but I knew it was already probably too late.
That when you were brewing the coffee?
No, I was brewing the coffee at 6.
Yeah, it happens quick. I got 2 Keurigs here. I put them both away, but I went back to the old, this is the Hamilton Beach one I got here at Target. That $35 pot, you know. But man, it brews it quickly.
And you can make it stronger.
What's that?
I said, and you can make it stronger.
I got almost 3 great big, and I don't use a regular scoop thing. This was a little stainless steel thing, and I put just under 3 of them for 8 cups, so.
Yeah, I put about, 5 tablespoons for 8 cups.
Now this is probably twice that, but yeah, them beans are a lot stronger than what I got going. And they smell better.
Yeah, it definitely isn't Folgers.
I stop at the coffee stand over here and get some of them. The gal sells me a great big bag for $5 of the espresso beans. Man, I like them things.
Hey, we're waving at that big owl and dirt man out there.
That you, man?
That be me?
Hey, waving back.
I don't get to hear you that much anymore, but when I do, I like to say hello.
No, I appreciate it. Likewise, I can hear you, but I usually don't holler up that way unless it's really quiet.
Oh yeah, I know the deal. It gets kind of noisy in T-Town and up north there for some bit.
I'd wave at that Mickey T, but yeah, I'm not sure you'd hear me.
Well, I hope all's good in your area.
Oh yeah, we're doing good. Hey, Inspector was trying to holler at you. I'll get out of here so you can see if you can hear him.
Oh, all righty. Yeah, I heard that, Inspector, just barely, but I got you in there, old man.
Yep, just down here wading around in the mud.
Still, we're waving right on back. Good to hear you.
Yep, right back at you. Good to hear you too, man. I just, this station doesn't get out like my old one.
Yeah, I don't get out here that much anymore, but when I do, I like to talk to people.
Yeah, Tent?
Yeah, I'm not out here much at nighttime, but last few days I kind of been in here a little bit more than normal.
Oh, yeah. I haven't heard you, but usually I'm just in and I'm back out again.
Well, we're definitely waving.
Yeah, we're buttoning down the hatches around this homestead. I tell you, we got a heck of a winter coming.
Yeah, I better go here. I'm down to 32 already, so yeah, I'm in the works of getting I got a propane heat stove. Nice one I put in new here when I moved in over here, and I'm getting a couple tanks on order and getting that back up and running, so just a little extra heat around the house.
Oh, 10-4. Well, I hope it's well ventilated. At least you got exhaust going outside for that propane heater.
I got a pellet stove that's going right now. I got, furnace and all that, but yeah, I got 3 sources of heat.
Oh, right on. You covered.
My place is pretty big too, so it's, I like the bedroom cold. I've got a living room and then a family room, so I got one of them in each room.
Yeah, I'd say you got covered. We just got a heat pump here, and it's centralized. We just open the bedroom door and let her rip.
Now I'd like to have one of them.
Yeah, it doubles as an air conditioner. Yeah, they do use a lot of electricity, though. That's the one drawback.
Yeah, I was hoping to win that lottery, but guess what? I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't either. But you got to play to win, I guess. So I usually don't buy those tickets.
Well, me neither, but I did yesterday, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, anytime they advertise a big jackpot like that, you got to at least take a chance.
We got very few little stores, little mini marts around here, and I went to one that I've never been to. Thought, well, that might be a good sign. I've lived here 17 years, never went to this particular little market. Went in there and just grabbed 3 tickets, so.
Oh, right on. Cool. Yeah, we got one here, but, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I just passed on it. My mind was not on the lottery.
All them states involved, it's rough and tough. Yeah. Chances of winning that, you might, it ain't probably gonna happen.
1 in a billion?
I like the way Gunner said it. Air Gunner said it'd be like a needle in the middle of Russia. Go find it.
Yeah, there you go.
Into the haystack.
Well, if you don't play, you can't win.
Well, that's right. That's what, my sister kept sending me messages. I'll run over here and grab a couple.
At least if you buy some tickets, you know, your chances of winning are slim to none. But if you don't buy any tickets, then it's absolutely none.
I even downloaded the app last night on my phone, so you can you hit the scan deal and it scans that barcode, and results not in yet. They didn't come in until this morning, and then they weren't coming in until I was out in Olympia, and my sister texted me, said, oh, one guy or one person in California won that.
Damn.
So somebody woke up and didn't have to go to work.
Yeah, well, you bet you on that one. That'd be a nice win, though.
$2 billion? Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'd give you a call, Vic, and say, hey, what radio you want me to buy you?
Yeah, there you go.
Even get you a gold mic, solid gold mic.
Now, that would be something you'd put underneath glass and let it look at it.
Right.
My God, gosh, I think our kids and grandkids will all be set for life, put a stipulation on what they can draw.
Yeah, I'm not a tightwad, so I'd be helping out some folks, man. That's just me.
Yeah, right.
I've never been really, really good at saving, but I've been pretty good at spending.
Yeah, you and me both. I'm better at spending it than I am trying to save it. I usually don't save very well. I've lived with no money, I've lived with a lot of money, and then no money again.
Yeah, I've been on that ladder.
Same.
Yeah. Now, we're comfortable now, but never rich, but, making ends meet. Got a little fun money.
Oh, yeah, we're halfway. We're pretty comfortable here. We get things taken care of pretty quick.
Yeah, the wife's still working, and I'm done. I haven't worked in about 3 years now, so. But it's all right.
Yeah, pretty much same here. Yeah, pretty much the same here.
She only works 4 days a week, so she was doing 5. I said, cut one day, man. There's life after work. I've always worked my ass off, gone to work, worked every fucking day, never called in sick, and did what I had to do, but I always look forward to Friday night.
Oh yeah, that weekend was always important.
Working for the weekend. I was wrong about that eclipse, by the way. It happens at midnight.
It was last night.
Oh, yeah, you're right. November 8th at 12:01. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yep, it was overcast.
It's election day.
Yeah, you guys go to bed. Don't stay up for it.
You'll be really disappointed if you stay up for it tonight.
You on guard duty down there, too? Oh, nice. Okay, I just thought you were down there hanging. I didn't know you were down there on duty. Right on. Oh, you've been throwing a big stake on it? I love them. I bet you got a front row seat too, huh? Yeah, and I bet you're not watching them eat. You're right in there with them.
Wouldn't see me passing up on no barbecue.
Whoa! You kiss your mama with that mouth?
Oh, sounds like there's somebody out there I'm glad I can't hear.
Probably Koopa. So he says, yeah. All them, I can hear them. All them guys got to do is key up and they just stop them. Well, I can hear them right there.
Listen, somebody shoot you.
Hey, Dad, you fall over?
I can almost hear him when I don't have bleed over from the mill.
I can pick them up just at the bottom there, but I hear them. What's your elevation over there, Rips?
I'm somewhere between 120 and 130 feet above, and then my antenna's about 40 feet above that.
Oh, 10?
325 is pretty high, Tom.
You're friggin' smashing my radio from sitting right there.
So wrong election. Get a clue, dude.
Yeah, that's an amazing ground right there. Somebody else talking that I can just barely hear an audio trace.
Where at?
Tough to say.
Oh, okay.
good last night, Rips. I was able to get clear down to Mossy Rock from right here.
Oh, dang. That's some good conditions. I was noticing tonight that it's pretty clear out there.
Well, I wasn't the only one. Jake was in there with him, and Zodi, and maybe somebody else. Number 10, I think, even. Four something. I know there's a couple guys down there, but I don't remember, 486 or something like that, 495, I don't remember.
495's down in that area.
Okay, yeah, he said he's about 1,000 feet there above, so yeah, he was coming in real good last night.
468.
468, is that you?
Yes, sir. Sandwagon.
From the waving Mossy Rock?
Come over here to yell at you.
Hey, you got good ears, man. Dirt Man waving at you.
Did I get you, Dirtman?
Yeah, Dirt Man?
Yeah, Dirtman.
Roger. Yeah, it's a pretty good trip, man. For this, my antenna's real low, so yeah.
So you run heavy equipment?
What's that?
You run heavy equipment?
I used to, yeah, I did. Yep, I actually worked at my last years of working was at the coal mine in Centralia there.
Yeah, there you go. My dad used to work out there. Fabricator.
Yeah, I was there for a big contractor doing the reclamation work out there. Anyway, waving a hand, man.
Yeah, back at you. I got a nap coming on. I'm tired. It's a long day. I'll catch y'all later.
Yeah, have a good night.
Wow, Mossy Rock making the trip.
You hear him, Rip?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Pretty good, yeah. That's tripping.
Like, seriously.
Yeah, Jake had him up on FM last night, and anyway, you could hear him a little better, but I went up there and listened for a few minutes before I shut her down.
Right on. I just got the FM dialed in on this radio the other day. I was having an issue where everybody I was receiving just sounded like frickin' hot garbage, dude.
Well, I noticed him, I think it was 486. So obviously Jake was right on 00, and then I'd go to 1, 2, clicking the clarifier, and he was actually coming in better a little bit, so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the clarifier on my radio was not having any effect on my FM reception, so I don't know if it's just something to do with my radio in particular or what, but I actually had to get in there and turn a frickin'... I had to turn a thing to make it do a thing.
You got her dialed in, huh? Garden all down yesterday. Well, I kind of started a little while before that, but got everything out of there. Pulled all our dahlias up and cut them off right at the bulbs and put them in buckets and put them in the shed. So that's all done. And we got fucking wet. Should have done it today. But I was out there in a raincoat, you know, with jeans, and that water just ran off the coat right down to my pants, and they were soaked. Somebody mentioned you wanted to get them out of the ground before it freezes, you know, so I don't know. Anyway, we had a bunch of them this year, and we got them out of the ground. said that the other night.
And that's what happens when we have too many things running on the same circuit.
Oh.
Cut me off mid-transmission, man. No, nothing that exciting. Evidently my outdoor thermometer needs batteries. Yeah.
Eventually, I made it back with my cup of coffee.
It's in one of those, but I don't actually have one. Yeah, Tin. A lot of them work that way. Most of the ones that we had when I was growing up were just like that. I remember my grandma had one on her porch that had like orange birds on it or something. It was orange and brown.
I can walk out the front door. It feels about 29 degrees. Damn near bedtime on Maytag over there. Darn close. Gonna have to get up a little early unless you put some cardboard on the windshield out there. I'll give her a half hour if I need to.
It's getting to be that time of year when I gotta remember to turn my windshield wipers off when I turn my car off.
Oh yeah.
I had to replace the linkage in that car once already because of that. I had a little Ford Tempo that I bought in Montana that had a block warmer in it. Yes, they do. I was back there for 2 winters. The second winter I was back there, it got down to like, I want to say it was like 28 below zero without the wind chill. And I decided that this probably is not the place for me. So cold that when you spit on the sidewalk, it freezes instantly.
know it's cold, but just it freezes teeth a little before leaving Chappelle.
Go mustache. Yeah, 10. Beautiful country back there. Just pretty unforgiving when it comes to the weather.
Where was that at?
Eastern Montana, over near Glasgow.
Oh, bird.
Okay. Yep, they make stuff for that. Yeah, I bet, man.
I just Googled over there where my sister lives at Lost Cause. Right now it's clear skies, 23, gonna get down to 11. I've seen it here. Hell yeah, I did, dude. We're right here driving forklift, freezing my fucking ass off over here at the mill. Oh, I don't know how many years back, 8 years, 7 years, somewhere in there. Oh boy.
I was gonna say, I remember going to the company Christmas party. It was about 2 weeks before Christmas, and I think you're right, it was like 7 or 8 years ago, and it was 9 degrees when I walked in the door.
It was ugly. Worked outside over there the whole time, and that was frickin', you know, I finally got a windshield on there, just some plexiglass, but if it starts snowing or whatever, that gets bad, because the big flakes would stick on there, you couldn't see, but man, was it miserable with no window.
Yeah, dude, that was the last year I worked tides, basically, and that was a cold year. That was a cold winter.
I just was reading a story earlier, you know, down there in Centralia on Galvin, some 80-year-old guy flipped the forklift over and died, man. I was reading that on Newsbreak a while ago. Going down the road helping out a relative, and the forklift, the picture was on his side, so he probably got crushed.
I was gonna say, he probably tried to jump, dude.
Like running a roller, man. That's about the most dangerous damn thing on the job. And yeah, you don't want to bail off. You better hang on. Yeah, no doubt. Remember when they first put me on one, you know, and I didn't know any better. I barely started, and I was doing some groundwork, putting up silt fence and all that, covering slopes up with plastic and sandbags. And the boss had a little D3, and on the side he was making a little road, and he'd motion me to get in there with that roller, and fuck, the drum was a quarter of the way off the edge. And them other guys that were on scrapers, and they're like, fuck, you're crazy. Well, I didn't know any better.
I'm not crazy, I'm ignorant.
Yeah, I mean, I was green. I was was green when I first started doing that shit, and the boss said, get in there. He'd pack it down, I'd get in there and roll it. Once he'd smooth it out, and yeah, it was pretty rough. I learned real quick. Well, we kind of did that at the mine. Pretty much did that running scrapers. I was never on a roller at the mine. I was on either off-road dump truck, dozer, or a scraper. That's what I ran a loader a couple times out there, but mostly those are the three things I ran.
Could you imagine building all those Forest Service roads with horses and frickin' steam donkeys?
Some of that terrain, man, like you said, it's fucking, you're up there a couple thousand feet.
They put those tracks in and built that train trestle back there with all that kind of technology, dude. That was a long time ago.
When I worked out here at the mine, dude, I worked night shift, so we did it in the dark. So we started in the daylight, but we had light plants we'd put up, depending on where we were going to be. We would in a pickup drag around light plants and get them reeled up in the air and shine them where we were, you could kind of see, but it was pretty rough and pretty scary. I was scared out there more than one time. I'm not going to lie about it.
Yep, I've done some pretty sketchy stuff out on the water too, which now looking back in hindsight was probably pretty dumb. But I'm still here to talk about it, right?
Right. The worst I really ever had, they were running a 395 Komatsu dozer out there, which is about like the size of a D11. And this guy, Scott, he was a good hand on a dozer. And they wiggled this little road up the side of this mountain, and they cut right across the side of the hillside, only about a blade wide. And it'd take them, quite a while to get that road cut in there. And then we'd go come down that road in scrapers, and we're 80, 70 feet long. And you'd turn to go down the hill. Your cab, those things articulate. Your cab would go, but the bed, the back still on the trail up there on the. So first thing would happen, you'd turn and you'd dive, and that fucking back of your can would come off the ground. Oh, that scared the shit out of you. And you just want to bury your can, so you're digging a big hole right from the get-go. The next guy comes up and he's in that hole. And we had one guy flip, man. It was pretty bad. He rolled all the way down that hill. Now I got pictures of all that shit here. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Enough to where it's like, oh boy. Yeah, I was never in an accident out there. I've seen a few of them out there. We got shut down right when it happened. You stop, you don't move one piece of equipment until they tell you, and then you go park, and you're going on the bus, going back to your rig, and you get sent home until they investigate it out there. Probably the same up there where you're at, Deer Slayer. It's all M-Shaw. Now, if you're working a pit or like a mine, it's M-Shaw. We couldn't even get on, if you were going to get on another piece of equipment, you had to be task trained and then signed off on that with paperwork on you before you could get on that piece of equipment, before you could ever leave the pad. So you had to go through a little training to make sure you were able to run it, blah, blah. So I still got quite a bit of paperwork in my
got the solar panels on the roof and then the solar controller. That shit will be charged all the time. Get some amorphous panels. Don't get the monocrystalline or polycrystalline. Get the amorphous style. Those solar panels will work when it's cloudy. Well, I was talking about for your to-go rig for your truck or whatever. Yeah, on the roof with panels on your canopy. I was going to put one on the cap of my truck. They got super thin panels. You can't even night there down below.
Yeah, good night, man.
Have a good night, gentlemen. See you tomorrow.
But yeah, then your stuff would stay charged and
You're gonna be staying up for a while there, Slayer.
so you have power all night long. I got a 200-watt setup for when we go camping, but they're
I was wrong. It's not actually tonight.
they sit on the ground. Those solar panels we got.
Yeah, it was last night, 12:01 a.m. last night. It was the first minute of the day.
Solar controller freaking gives us plenty of power.
Yeah, it was definitely overcast. Well, I think I'm out of here too. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, my whole 200-watt solar setup, batteries, panels, and everything was under $500. I got an inverter and then just a 150 amp or a 100 amp circuit breaker, resettable circuit breaker. That's about all you really need. I just got a 200-watt setup. It's like portable.
So what I missed while I was grabbing my cup of coffee? I guess I didn't miss a whole lot.
Cat box.
Is who cat box?
He's way out there talking to somebody about solar panels and trucks and fishing and...
Oh, that might have been him. I don't know. I could barely hear who that was. If it was him, I could barely hear him.
Right there, that guy right there.
That sounds like it could be him, but I can barely hear that person. audio, 1, 2, audio. What's really going on?
we having fun yet?
I guess so. I don't know. It's pretty dead out here now.
Oh, is it? Has it been dead for a while, or?
For a minute.
A minute? Oh, that's not long.
No, not too long.
So like half an hour, no more than that?
Yeah, something like that.
Roger that. Well, good to hear you.
Yeah. From my shadidio to yours.
Yeah, we're on that other one right now. You know, the really crappy one that I found in the back room. It's K-R-A Krakow. I guess it says it's a Krakow radio.
Yeah, I got one of those over here. I got one of them crack hoe radios.
Well, this one's a 23 channel, and it's pretty old. I can't tell what channel I'm on, though.
Yeah, 10-4 on the channel lights burned out, and all the numbers wore off, so you can't really see what channel. You're on 17. I can tell you that, because that's what I'm on. I can actually see the channel on my crack hoe.
Well, I knew that I was, because I heard you talking to somebody a little bit ago, and so I left it right there. I thought, well, I'll come back in a few minutes and see if he's still here, and you are, so I assumed that it was. I know I shouldn't do that, but yeah, this is an old antique, man. This thing, the wires are even burned on the back of it, but it sounds okay, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a CB radio.
Alright, well, I was wondering if maybe I could just cut the burn parts off and reconnect it, and it'd be alright.
I don't know, you could put some electrical tape over it, you know, just to insulate it, maybe.
Somebody told me that if you use good quality duct tape, I mean, this has to be the one that has the little duck on it, otherwise you just get an imitation duct tape.
Yeah, you want the semi-metallic stuff, it's extra shielding.
What do you think about Gorilla Tape? Is that better? It's hard to do this without laughing.
It's a lot of fun.
Hey, Zodiac, what kind of microphone's on that radio right now?
It's a piece of shit Ranger up and down microphone, meaning yes, it can change the channel. It's just stock.
On a Krakow 23? Yeah?
Well, yeah, I just thought maybe I could change the channel, but it's not working. I keep pushing the button, it just sits there looking at me.
Roger, yeah, I know the exact radio you're talking about.
Well, yeah, hey, not everybody's got one of these. Is it a Krakow? I don't know what they call it. I haven't seen one of these since I was 23.
Crack hoe.
I have a radio similar to it somewhere back here. It's the one I have. It's a Krakow Super Deluxe 40.
Oh, yours is a 40? Crap, I didn't even know they made one into a 40.
Those actually used to be a good radio in the day. It's also similar to like a Channel Master.
You remember those Pro 51s? Remember the Pro 19? Cobra 19 Plus.
Those.
Cobra 19 Plus. I talked on one of those for a while too. That was fun. That was a digital radio, I think.
Yeah, I remember those.
That means we're old.
What was that you were talking to a minute ago? Was that Trailer Park?
No, I was talking to Big Al.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've talked to him before. All right.
Well, you're sounding good over there.
Yeah, if you guys know anybody that's had any dealings with those new FM 10 meter, like what was it, President Richard, President something like that, those new radios?
Yeah, which one do you want to know about?
No, has an FM radio. I got a couple of them. God, I got probably 5 of them in the other room. But I don't hear many people talking on FM, just Inspector. He's the only one lately I've been hearing likes to go to FM.
Yeah, the one I'd like to buy is a President Lincoln too, but there was a couple others I was looking at. No, a President Richard, 10 meter.
The Richard and the Ronald are both pretty good deals for what they are. I mean, the Richard, they're both pretty similar radios. The main difference being the Richard is a lot larger. It's about the size of like a Cobra 29. And the Ronald's about the size of a Pro 510, maybe a little bigger. But they both do about the same power. They both pretty much have about the same audio. But the Lincoln 2 Plus is another story. That's a much better radio, in my opinion.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's definitely in a better bracket. But yeah, I was just looking at the one for it's a budget radio because I don't talk on sideband much. I wouldn't mind having it in there, but I'm not opposed to having just that AM/FM radio like that. So when you get that radio, can you get right into that service menu and make the changes you need to make to get all the bands?
I don't know about I know with the Ronald and I don't know about the Richard. I haven't messed around with the Richard other than I've seen one. That's about it. With the Ronald, you got to put a little 1K ohm resistor in the front of it to get the extra channels. It's a really simple, easy thing, and it's right there in the front of the board, right at the front of the radio. And then the ones that I kind of like are like these Anytones, where a lot of it's just programming. You go into a programming menu and you just unlock it. And I think some of the Presidents are like that too. You don't actually have to do anything inside. There's a menu.
Yeah, I already watched some videos on that. Yeah, you got to put them into like a export mode or whatever. Get into that area by holding a few buttons or whatnot. But no, I was looking at the Anytones, the Strikers, the Lincoln 2s, and all that. But yeah, that's what I want to know is on the Richard. I haven't looked into it close enough yet to know if you can just hold some buttons and get into that service menu and go ahead and unlock it.
You can.
That one I don't know. I'm not positive, but I know the Ronald, which is a pretty similar radio. It's just putting a little 1K ohm resistor in the front and then holding some buttons to just reprogram the radio, like resets it. And I'm pretty sure most of the Presidents are like that, but I don't know. Inspector would probably be the one to ask about the Presidents. I know a lot of these Anytones and like some of the Striker, like the little mini Strikers and stuff that are in these Anytone cases and use the Anytone boards, they have it all in the front. You just hold buttons down and switch it from 10 meter mode to CB mode. And that unlocks everything.
Yeah, well, that's real appealing to me. That way you ain't got to get inside the radio and do modifications like I used to do on hundreds of radios back in the day.
And I do recommend the Anytone 6666. I have one. I liked it so much I bought another one. I got a backup. And they're a good radio. They're a little bit smaller than the 5555N. But Inspector's got one of those, and I think it sounds pretty good, and he's really happy with it. And I'd assume that he'd recommend that one as well. That one, personally, I think is probably easier to put microphone connectors on or run different microphones, because it uses an RJ45 connector like your Ethernet network connector on your computer.
That's kind of interesting. That's interesting. Actually, that was one of the radios that I was actually looking at.
It just makes wiring up a microphone really easy. If you can fit the wires into that connector, you're good to go.
Interesting. Another one I was going to bring up there was the I think they call it an export model, but the President Randy 3, the FM walkie-talkie.
That one, I gotta admit, is kind of cool. I've thought about getting one of those, because from what I understand, it's a hell of a little radio, and it's a walkie-talkie, but you can hook it up to a regular antenna if you want.
Well, I haven't actually seen the Randy 2s you can get. The Randy 3,
I don't know if it's they're calling that the export one, but I don't know where you can exactly get that. But I saw them do a mod on one of those and unlock it, and when those come out, I will own one of those.
Yeah, I've only seen the Randy 1 and 2 so far, and that's the first one was just a regular AM CB, and then the second one they got the Randy 2 is the new FM one, I assume.
If you can unlock the 2 to do what I seen this other one do, I would get one of those. But I'm just gonna hang in there and see what's going on with that. But I seen him do a Randy 3, and I was impressed. Yeah, you wait till you see that. Dude, it has everything on it, man. I forget, dude, the coverage they were getting out of it, it was, I don't know, 20, 25 to, it was up there a ways.
You have to mod a jumper for the President Richard.
Most of those, so you do have to do a jumper or something for the Richard there? 10-4. Alright, so the Richard apparently is kind of more like the Ronald. You gotta do a jumper in it. Modify a jumper instead of putting a resistor in there, but that's basically how you do that one.
Who's whispering to you?
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, I can handle getting inside there and doing something like that. And once you do that, then you probably hold them buttons and put it into that menu and you're good to go.
Takes 5 minutes.
Yeah, 10-4 on the takes about 5 minutes. That seems about as simple as the Ronald. Like, as soon as I saw the modification online, I was like, oh, that's easy. And, like, as soon as you open the radio, like, you see the spot you're supposed to put the resistor right there.
Well, it's easy for you. And him. Not me.
Well, if you know how to solder at all, you should be able to do it.
What's that?
Put a resistor in there or modify a jumper like that. I know on like my striker, you gotta put a little solder bead over a jumper, like where there's like a blank spot, and that's basically how you modify these.
I used to watch Ghosty do that kind of stuff. He'd modify and open up radios, and I thought, oh, fuck, I don't have a brain to do that. Fat Hit did it too.
Gonna start somewhere.
Oh, I had a brain, but I took it out and played with it, and I lost it somewhere. It's around here. Who's the guy whispering out there in between all our kids?
I don't know, I couldn't quite tell who that was.
What? You don't want anybody to hear who you are.
He's incognito.
Oh, okay, just stand by then.
But yeah, if you want my personal opinion, the Lincoln 2 Plus, that Anytone 6666, and the 5555N Anytones are all pretty much in the same bracket, and they're all right around the same price. I mean, you get a little bit more power with the 6666 over the 5555 and the Lincoln 2, but you know, the other two do about the same as each other, and they're right around the same price.
I was sitting there looking. It's like on eBay looking through the export radios and 10-meter radios. I run into a Galaxy 2, which is what I used to talk on 15 years ago. Mint shape. They wanted $700 for it.
Fuck, they want $2,000 for a Cobra 2000.
Well, I have a mint Cobra 2000 in the box sitting here.
There's people that'll give you $2,000
$3,000 for that on fucking eBay.
Yeah, I know there is. That's why I was telling you. I would do something like that if I didn't have to ship it, and you never know what's going to happen by the time they get it. Oh, it don't work when it gets here. Well, this radio is mint. It works perfect. It has one of the most tasteful modifications I've seen as far as the channels go. Very, very, very nice radio.
The radio I've been looking for, and it would probably be the one that I'd just talk on just for fun, because it's old and it probably would still work. And I've been looking for I saw one on eBay at one time and I didn't pull the trigger. But it's a Galaxy GT550. And that's before Galaxy was like a CB radio export radio brand. If you look them up, it's basically just an old ham transmitter that did about 550 watts.
Tube?
Yep, old tube transmitter. And you gotta find it with the matching power supply, otherwise they won't work. I've seen a couple of them go on there with like some sort of hokey power supply, and I'm like, no, I need the original one.
Yeah, no, I've seen something like that before. It was a big tube radio. It was on wheels or something. I think the power supply may have, obviously on the bottom. But it had a full Vox setup, a nice. It was either Shure, an Electro Voice microphone on a stand. You could go over, switch it into Vox mode, and you'd be sitting there in the room. Anybody could talk. It automatically key up and do its thing.
Yeah, and it's just got a big old tube in the back. I think those had a 3500Z, but I'm not positive of that. I think it just had one big glass tube. Maybe two big glass tubes, but depending on what they were. But yeah, they did about 500 watts. And it was just meant to be an old HF transmitter. You hook that thing up, you don't need a linear because you got that built in.
Oh yeah, no, I know what a 3-500Z is.
But either a GT550 or even a GT250 would be nice. They made one of those too. I think those had like a couple or four sweep tubes in the back of them.
I can't remember what it was, if it was a Helicrafters or exactly what, Helicrafters does a lot of, shortwave receivers and stuff like that, but I swear it was a Helicrafters, and he basically just ran it on the 10 meter selection it had on there, and wound the coil up a little bit, but he was actually a technician for Motorola, and he tuned that thing up real nice.
Was his name Jeff?
No.
Okay, because that sounds like my buddy Jeff. He used to run old Helicrafters and Collins. He still runs old Helicrafters and Collins, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, Collins, definitely. No, this was like back in the 80s.
Oh yeah, and that stuff, there's people still use those Johnson transmitters and stuff out here, and Multi-Emac. And there's a bunch of them, but that's back when you bought your tube transmitter, and then you had a separate receiver for the whole deal, and then you could plug in an external VFO and go all over the place with it.
Oh yeah, that's how I used to do it in the early days. My brother has a we still have it. It's a Hammerlin Super Pro receiver, and we put we ran a Heathkit transmitter with that. As a pair.
That's still probably the best way to go these days. Man, 50-year-old plate modulated technology. It's hard to beat it. Audio, sound, and get out.
Yeah, check it out. I used to have that transmitter hooked up. I'd switch over. I'd be tuning in my oscillator, my VFO. And you'd have to run the beat frequency like that. They could hear the VFO when I'd come in. I'd sync it in, and they could hear the VFO before I ever keyed up.
That's something that they put into radios now. It's like a VFO whine. Makes it sound like that. Because your PLLs and your digital computer-controlled radios don't do that anymore. But yeah, that whine of the VFO trying to get down to the right frequency.
Oh yeah, when I'd tune in, I'd be sitting there like that, and I'd zero it right in, and I'd come over and key the transmitter down.
If you have an access to like an SDR or whatever, sometimes I'll have that on my gate over here. The SDR, you can see that some of the big boys going to like 11 or 6, you'll see the VFO trace across the whole band. and if you're zoomed out on it, you can see it like on the waterfall, you can see it go all the way down to 6.
What are you talking about? Something software-defined radio?
Yeah, if you're looking at it or even like some of them new fancy radios that have direct sampling where they have the waterfall, you can watch the signals. You can see that. You can see the VFO drift all the way down to the frequency it's supposed to be talking on. That's why, like those old transmitters, man, you gotta key them up and then sit there and wait for the VFO to get on frequency before you start talking.
Yeah, my brother, he always had to rig in some the antenna splitter to cut it off for receive.
Yeah. The old Browning CB radios had it. They had that built into it. They had the separate receiver transmitter set up like that.
Yeah, back in the day when I first started out, me and my brother, I think that one of the first radios he ran was an Olsen Spotter. So it had 23 channels receive slidable, tunable, and 6 or 8 channels transmit. It was kind of like a sonar.
My plan over here is to possibly get one of them old transmitters, and when I'm talking on it, I'm going to use my SDR as the receiver, just running it straight at the IF out to the receiver from the transmitter is going to go straight into the SDR.
So you're gonna transmit through what?
Well, I'll transmit on the transmitter, but instead of running a receiver, a separate receiver, I'm just gonna use the SDR as that. That way, I can have the whole direct sampling waterfall and everything, and then I can just key down on the transmitter. Because that's how those are designed to run, is you're supposed to have a separate receiver. Well, I can use the SDR for that.
Yeah, only time I ever saw an SDR demonstrated was it was a dongle that was plugged into a laptop with an antenna off of the dongle is all.
It's pretty much what I'm using for the SDR receiver. They make SDR transceivers now. Like flex radios and stuff, you can plug them into your computer and transmit and receive through all of that. But this one just receives.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was trying to do at the time. I think he was trying to pick up P25 digital.
That's really hard to do with an SDR. They are capable of it, but you need a special kind of software to be translating that signal. But yeah, I mean, I suppose you could probably manage to do that.
Well, State Patrol, all their transmissions now are all done on digital.
Yeah, they're on Part 25, Phase 2.
Yeah, Roger.
It's more like a cellular signal, but I mean, you can get a scanner now that does that. Like the old school high-tech scanners, the triple trunking and all that is kind of irrelevant when it comes to Part 25. You need the Part 25 to actually listen to that. And yeah, they're about $300 for just the scanner. The radios are quite a bit more, though. They start about $900 if you want to buy one of the radios.
I got a Whistler. You catch that?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, I got a pretty nice Whistler for the digital stuff. But yeah, most of those scanners now, all that shit, they're most of them are obsolete.
Over 90% of them. I mean, Thurston County still runs the old analog stuff. But almost everybody now is going digital. I think Tacoma's gone digital. King County went digital a long time ago. Seattle's almost always been digital since they pretty much had Part 25. They were Phase 1 and now they're Phase 2. I do miss the days that State Patrol ran Simplex on that VH. That was so much easier to pick them up.
They still do run Simplex. They just do it in digital. I mean, they have repeaters, but for certain areas.
Well, I meant Simplex before Part 25, just regular old VHF FM.
That's what they're running. They're running the same frequency they ran before, just digital. 154 920.
Yeah, it's digitally modulated though. It's not that's like, it sounds like static and modem noise now. And if you don't have a Part 25 digital thing, you can't hear them. But it used to be just regular old FM.
I remember back when it was just FM.
That's one of the things I thought about getting for my mobile, is get one of them new Bearcat radios that has one of those Part 25 scanners in it. And then I can just roll around with the scanner and the CB and the mobile.
The one thing I will say, the Whistler was a motherfucker to program. It's still, I mean, it's not done ideally, but I've got enough channels in there to hear what I need to hear locally here.
They're stupid expensive, but I will say the easiest ones to deal with when it comes to the newer scanners is the Home Patrol from Uniden, because they, like, as soon as you connect them to their Wi-Fi, it like auto programs everything for you as soon as you connect it to Wi-Fi. The Whistler one, I think you can connect those to the internet directly, or they might just be USB, but that, you know, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit more involved.
Yeah, it has a programming cable.
Yeah, 10. They're a little bit more involved, but they are a little bit more reasonably priced, those Whistlers. And I mean, as far as reception goes, there's really no difference between a Whistler and a Uniden.
Well, it kind of surprised me with that digital. I heard a mobile down past the Farm Boy restaurant. He was into Lewis County, and he was still coming through with just the telescopic on the back.
Well, yeah, they're basically using the same setup they had before. Like you said, they're running a 200-watt simplex setup, but they're just running that digitally modulated the Part 25 signal instead. And the audio clarity on those digitally modulated signals, especially like DMR or Part 25, is just so much superior to FM. It's not even funny. If you have a good signal on them, you hear them loud and clear, like they're talking on a cell phone.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a trade-off, though. Their communication range now, they have areas that they get no signal at all with what they got going now.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is if you don't have a good strong signal on those, they don't work as well. I mean, FM is kind of similar, but it's a lot worse when you go digital.
Yes, sir. What that was an effort by a Homeland Security wanting them to tighten up their radio a little bit so they're not quite so easy to hear.
Hey, driver, you got a light dangling out the side of your truck.
I mean, that's like back in the day. You could have a modified scanner and hear, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, FBI, all these different government agencies that were out there. Well, they're not out there anymore.
No, not really. I mean, the FCC, for instance, around here they're not out there. They're not really doing anything off of FM. That's really the only side they have agents doing anything on. Don't go broadcasting with any power on the FM broadcast band or bleeding on cell phones and stuff like that with your digital stuff, and they won't have a problem with you.
Hey, driver, you got a light dangling out the side of your trailer.
But these CBs don't interfere with any of that, so they don't even pay attention to it anymore.
Back in the day, my brother had shit. He had a whole list of federal channels, and they were using them all. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. He had a couple of FBI channels. Had some UHF DEA stuff that was down in the 418 megahertz range. He had a lot of channels.
I still have the book that me and Microwave put together from all the scanner searching, and you are correct. All that's there in the 418s, all the DEA and crap.
Yeah. I still have all that pretty much memorized, what that was. And we heard a lot of stuff on those channels back then, but with the way things are, and then 800 megahertz systems and stuff, all that's gone. All them radios are gone.
Yep, and it almost disappeared overnight.
Well, if you notice, they probably just don't use them anymore. If you look up, I bet you anything, if you go to like Radio Reference or just go to the FCC site and look up the frequency licenses, all those frequencies are still registered to those agencies. They just don't use them very much anymore because of cell phones. And I think that's a big player in all of it, is digital communication, satellite communication, and cell phones knocked out any reason for them to use radios unless they're like on site. So like their little portable radios and stuff like that, they might still use those frequencies, but you're only going to hear them if they're doing something here locally.
Right, you watch, when we have an earthquake, all of those frequencies are going to come alive, every fucking one of them.
No, they also, some of those, I think he said, may have still been active, but they were running scrambling on all that.
I believe that. What are they going to do when the power goes out, though, and everybody's just got regular radios? They're going to have to open those back up and use them.
Well, a lot of them they use like some of the military radios do, where they have NSA codes that change every day, and they just get programmed into the radios when they're using them. And yeah, they scramble them like that. So you catch little, maybe, like if you're listening to one of their frequencies, you'll catch like little glitches of their conversation, and that's it, because it's constantly bouncing around frequencies.
Yeah, chase frequencies and shit. Yeah, we know how to play their game.
It's a type of trunking that like changes every day, so it'd be impossible to actually like lock down permanently. And the military that's how most of their short range radios work.
Right, but I got a scanner here that can find them as fast as I can search for them.
Well, and like I said, that you need the NSA trunking codes for that system to actually do it, and a scanner can't find that. It wouldn't. It doesn't work that way. Like it would take days for the scanner to find it, if it could, and it would at that point they'd have changed it.
Yeah, I'm just talking about in the event that there's an earthquake and all the major power goes down, you're going to have to rely on a fucking 12-volt battery in your car to talk, so they're not going to have all the sophisticated shit being able to work because it's all hooked up to big power. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and they're gonna have other stuff too, and they're Mars is gonna be available, but there's also like Aries races and all kinds of ham clubs that are connected with FEMA and like all the disaster, agencies are going to be running normal frequencies. Department of Homeland Security, all those frequencies, you'll probably hear a lot of stuff on that because they're not going to be too worried about security when that's all they can talk on.
Last year, when they did that FEMA test and they pretended they were having an earthquake.
Well, admittedly, unless we have an EMP blast in the upper atmosphere or some sort of solar brownout condition, the satellite communications they have will still work. I mean, those all, like the sat phones and everything, run on a battery. So as long as the EMP doesn't take out the satellites or something, we're probably all right. And it takes a lot to knock out battery backups and generators. It takes a big earthquake to knock them all out. You gotta knock down every cell phone tower.
I've been inside of one of those buildings up there on top of them mountains.
Well, and even if those ones go, there's hundreds of cell towers. There's gonna be still some networks that survive a major earthquake. And I can guarantee you satellite communications will survive. Because those are totally portable and battery backed up. And as long as the satellite survives the incident, you're good to go. Now, if it's a nuclear holocaust, that's a different story. Even if it's the modern nukes where they don't have the massive fallout that'll fall out all over the earth, you still got the EMP to contend with. Hydrogen bombs still create an EMP wave. And they do still vaporize everything in the blast radius.
Woo, fucking chilly outside.
Looks like it's time to spark a fresh one.
I'm gonna burn me one a white queen right now.
I'm gonna pick some flour up tomorrow, but I've been hitting my oil pen and doing the last little bit of dabs I got over here. I was slacking. I didn't feel like stopping at any store tonight.
I used to smoke a pen a couple of years ago, man, and I kind of leaned back out of it.
Well, I like these little Cedar Creek cartridges. They taste like weed, you know, and they're a lot more inconspicuous.
Yeah, what I liked about it was the convenience.
That too, it's just convenient. I mean, if you're having a stressful day, you just go out and take a fucking toke. It's kind of inconspicuous, and nobody knows is the wiser. And you really only need 1 or 2 good hits, and you're good to go.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
But I enjoy a good doobie or smoking a bowl of some good flour too. I'm never gonna give that up. I could give up the rest probably, but not that.
No, I just that's about a quarter of one. I just put it out. Good pre-roll flour from THC of Olympia.
It's not a bad little shop. I don't go in there a whole lot, but I mean, there's a few good spots around here that I'll still patronize. I'm not the biggest fan of the 420 places, just because I don't know. Every time I go in there for what I want, and they say they have it online and everything, and they don't have it, and I just fucking got tired of all the bullshit. So I went elsewhere. And I've found pretty good stuff. That Thunderbird down there, the roundabout, by the new truck stop, that one's not a bad little shop. They got some pretty good little deals in there. They're a little bit cheaper than some of the other places in town, but have the same stuff.
Yeah, Roger. Only right there's like 2 that I go to, and the only reason I go to that one is because it's pretty much right in my travels there.
Yeah, 10. That's the only reason I go to T Brothers so much, is it's not really out of my way. It's like a block and a half down the road. Or I'll go over to Lucid, because it's right across the street from where I work every day. So, you know, it's in the neighborhood.
Exactly.
And they got a good, rewards discount system, and I've accrued so many points at those places that I end up getting discounts pretty much every time I go in.
No, I get discounts and deals, shit like that too. Yeah, it helps, dude. I have been finding with a lot of those pre-rolls and shit, dude. Can be a hit and a miss.
I find that's the problem I've had with T-Bros, is every time I find a good pre-roll package or something, like a little 5-pack or a couple of them or whatever that I like, and it's a good reasonable deal for what you're getting, you know, the amount, and they're all flour, they taste good, they're stony as hell. Every time they get something that I consistently want to buy, it's gone every time I go back to get it.
See, that's exactly opposite. You know, so I run into that a little bit, but that's why I go to these 2, because they have 2 specific strains and growers and that I like. But yeah, I was going to the other one around the corner there, one on Slater Kinney, Forbidden Cannabis Club. Dude, 90% of the shit I've got out of there, dude, all crap.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hit and miss, and I've had to go through a lot of garbage to find the good stuff. And I'll buy a pack of a little couple packs of pre-rolls or something like that from them, and I'll smoke it, and I'll be like, man, that's really good. And then I'll go back and see if they got flour from that grower, and I'll buy some of that. There's a few that are reasonably priced I've found, and that's what I do too. Like when I go other places, is I'll look around for the stuff that I liked that I can't get at my usual spot, and I'll see who else might actually have it. Because usually somebody else in town has it, and it's probably the same price or a better deal.
I usually smoke like Gorilla Glue 4 or there's a couple other strains I like.
My favorite strain's always been OG Kush. It'll always be OG Kush. And I've had some swag OG Kush and some really good OG Kush from various growers. And yeah, some of the growers that I usually like, their OG Kush sucked. You know? And it was, yeah. But I'll buy OG Kush from any grower every time I see it. If it looks good and it's a reasonable price, I'll buy it just to try it. But other than that, I've found a whole bunch of different types of strains that I've actually liked even more. But OG Kush, for whatever reason, every time I see it, I buy it, and I almost always enjoy it.
What brand was it? Top Shelf?
Top Shelf OG Kush? I don't know if I've tried their OG Kush. If they have OG Kush, I'm gonna go try it. I've tried some Top Shelf before. They're not terrible. They've had some stuff that I didn't like and stuff that I did. But the best OG Kush I've found so far is from Cedar Creek. It's the most flavorful, and it's probably the best I've had for high and flavor and taste and whatnot. And whenever I see their like OG Kush cartridges, I buy them all the time.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Stick with the stuff you like.
That's the best OG Kush, and pretty much everything I've ever gotten from Cedar Creek was good. I mean, it maybe wasn't my favorite, but it was all good. None of it was swag.
That's, I mean, sometimes you'll go into them places and you look at the shit there's on the wall, dude, and there's just these small little teeny fucking popcorn buds. It's like, it's all fucking brown. Looks like some gold dustweed or something.
There's this stuff from Seattle's Private Reserve that I buy when it's on sale all the time, and I'll buy the pre-rolls when they have it. It's LA Kush Cake. And that's the only strain from that grower that I can say I like, because I've tried a few different things from that grower. I found seeds in some of what I got from them, but every time I buy the LA Kush Cake, either in the pre-roll or the flour from Seattle's Private Reserve, it's always been really dank and really, really good.
And you found a couple seeds, like a stray seed in there with it?
Not with that strain. With a couple other, there was one jar I bought, and I can't remember if it was like Blue Dream or something like that from them, and that had some seeds in it, and I was a little disappointed. But the one that I've found that has always been primo, and it's always like 27%, and it feels like that when you smoke it, is their LA Kush Cake.
Yeah, I may have tried that. Well, that seed you're talking about there, that might be hermaphrodite. That might come back 100% female.
Possible, I don't know. But I don't even know if I still have those seeds. They weren't mature seeds either, so they weren't like, it wasn't a big deal. Like they weren't like really mature seeds. But as soon as that thing starts producing seeds, the THC stops developing.
Yeah, Roger. And sometimes, you get a bunch of buds and you got like one seed in there with it or something like that. Yeah, it got there, but when you regrow that right there, those will come back to be something.
Yeah, Tin. But yeah, I'd prefer to not find seeds in my weed, but it is what it is. But that I will recommend their LA Kush Cake if you see that up for a reasonable price from Seattle's Private Reserve. I think they have that at Oli THC. They did the last time I was there. If not, I know T Brothers and like Bud Stop and stuff have it. But I recommend it to anybody, especially if it's like on sale and a reasonable price, because it's dank. But they kind of want their money for it.
Did you mess around with any car audio stuff?
I used to. I don't know. I mean, I've looked around at like doing up maybe the stereo in one of my vehicles, and like I realize I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore with this. Like half of the audio brands I knew about that were any good don't exist anymore, or they don't make car audio, or they suck now.
Yeah, all the brands that used to be made in USA that are made in China.
Or like Phoenix Gold, like that used to be or US Acoustics. Good luck finding any of that. They're gone. They've been gone.
Yeah, a lot of those vintage amps fetch a pretty good price on eBay. No, I scored at a garage sale, and 1,000 watt Arc Audio bass amp, 1,000 watt mono, one channel, $20. Old school, American made, the real deal.
See, that's what I like. I've got something like that sitting out in my storage unit that used to power one of those jackhammers.
Yeah, what is it? Not a Fosgate MOSFET 1000.
It's a custom big what was it? The monoblock 4000 from Phoenix Gold. The only reason I'm hanging on to that thing is the last one I saw go up on eBay was $7,000.
What's the deal? Does it work or is it blown up?
It works fine, or it did. I don't know. I don't know if I have anything big enough to actually power. I need like 300 amps to power the damn thing. And I don't have a subwoofer for it anymore, because I don't have a 4,000 watt subwoofer to try and power it with. But I assume it works, because it worked great when I unhooked it, and it's been stored in a dry storage place ever since then.
So it's what? It's a mono amp or a 2-channel amp?
Mono amp, 4,000 watt. And I was powering a 6,000 watt subwoofer RMS. It's 12,000 watts peak for the subwoofer, but I was powering it with basically 4,000 watts RMS.
Yeah, so it's a Class D mono bass amp.
Yeah, a big one. I mean, we're talking about the amp is big. It had like 6 fans in it. And it was probably about as thick as like a linear amplifier, like a CB pill box, like an 8-pill or so, but bigger. Like the case is about the size of like a 24 pill.
Yeah, Roger. No, that's definitely that's something you got to run extra alternator and the whole deal with.
Yeah, I had it in my Excursion with the 600 amp Lease Naval in there, powering a couple of batteries in the back for that amp just alone. Hot gauge wire going to it.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
But I don't know. That's my rainy day. I got a couple of things that are worth some money, and that's if I really need to get desperate, I'll sell that thing. Because that's a few grand in my pocket.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You looked on eBay, see what they're going for?
Yeah, like I said, the last one I saw that was probably in the condition mine's in, and it was working, went for about it was like almost $6,000. It was like $5,700, $5,800, which sounds about right, because I spent like $3,000 on it way back when you could get these, and you can't get them anymore. They're really uncommon. They're made here, and they're a really, really solid amp. So like the guys that are really into that intense stuff, they look for them, and they'll pay top dollar for them.
Yeah, what model is it again?
I don't remember the model, but it's a Phoenix Gold, and it's a 4,000 watt mono amp. I don't have it here with me, otherwise I'd go look at the model, but it's in my storage unit out by the airport.
I'll Google it later, see if I see what it says. But I think I seen one of those looking through the vintage car audio section on eBay. And you're right, they did want good money for it.
Ah, here it is. Although this doesn't look anything like mine. This has like a glass top to it. But it, yeah. Maybe I got the peak wrong, but yeah, these things were, I guess they're a 12 kilowatt antique amp. It's called Phoenix Gold, the one. They were a limited edition amp.
You're sure that's the one you got?
Correct.
That's what it's called?
I can only assume, because it looks just like mine, only this one has a glass top. Mine had a metal top with fans in it.
Sometimes when they're their flagship amp, they like doing that clear so you can see the show off the circuitry in there. The gold, the gold traces and all that.
And there's one from Amp Guru. It says it's number 42. So I don't know which number mine is. I'd have to go look at that. I assume it's got a sticker on the bottom of it that says that. But this one's going for $36.90 right now. $3,600 basically, almost $3,700.
Yeah, that's an expensive amp, dude. Definitely. What were you? What did you have it hooked to?
A MTX jackhammer.
MTX jackhammer. I remember the jackhammer thing, but what size of speaker was it?
22, 24, something like that inch.
Really?
.24 I just googled the jackhammer. It was a 24 But yeah, that one cost me a pretty penny. That costs a lot more than the amp.
Yeah, because I don't even remember the 24s. I mean, I have an 18, and we used to run 15s and 18s, 12, all that stuff. But yeah, that how big a box?
How big a box? Oh, that thing, yeah, it took up like like the cargo area of a Ford Excursion, about that big.
That's probably 14 cubic feet.
Yeah, about half of that. Yeah. So, well, it's probably the box was at least 14 cubic feet. It may be a little bit more than that. Now that I'm thinking about it, like the size of like a chest freezer. Like it'd probably be at least 12 to 14. Yeah, 14 cubic feet. That's probably about right.
Yeah, no, I'm really into sound systems and stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out, like when you got the speaker or whatever, what the box port configuration, what was going on there.
I had it in a sealed enclosure, only because I was not interested in trying to figure out the T-line configuration or the port configuration, dealing with all of that. That was more math involved than I wanted to do, and I had already spent way too much money. So I built myself a big MDF box for it with the I want to say it was probably 15 cubic feet now that I think about it, because I remember I just went with whatever that said capacity wise on the little sheet that came with the speaker for a sealed enclosure.
Yeah, exactly what they recommended for size or whatever. No, sealed would be good because it will and it also keeps a speaker from over excursioning.
Well, I wasn't worried about that so much as just making it sound good. And sealed enclosures, in my opinion, still sound better. You hear everything a lot better. Bandpass boxes and T-lines are designed for sound pressure level at certain frequencies, so they're tuned to a specific frequency. If you wanna be able to be heard 5 miles down the road, that's what you want a band pass or a T-line for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know what you're talking about there.
Am I heard 5 miles down the road?
Well, I can hear you.
How you doing there, Al?
I'm doing pretty good. How about that Triple M?
Not too bad. Who's the other character out there? Never heard of him.
Hey, you got the triple nickel. Name's Curtis.
Hey, Curtis. Nice meeting you. Triple M on this side. Triple nickel, huh?
Yeah, Roger. What kind of radio is that you got?
It's an RCI.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. Interesting Roger beep there. But yeah, that's a good sounding radio.
Yeah, I didn't know I had the Roger beep on. Normally I don't run it. I must have hit it by accident.
I got a really interesting custom programmed Roger beep in this one.
There we go. We got it off now. So it sounds all right then, right?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Well, I'm working on it. I still got a little bit things to do to it yet. I got a little bit of noise in here, but I'll tell you what, it makes a heck of a difference now. I can hear a lot of people. Before I couldn't hear people.
Yeah, Tin.
I was actually talking to that guy up in Mossy Rock. Man, I couldn't believe it.
Where are you located at?
Near Roy.
Oh, you're making a pretty good trip then.
Where do you hang out at?
I'm over here off South Bay Road. You're right about 10 pounds. You're just into the red zone here.
Oh, right on. Sounds like it's working good. That's what I wanted to do.
Oh yeah, she's making the trip.
Hey, has Sky been out there at all? I haven't heard of him in a while.
He's been working on a Volkswagen, but other than that, I haven't heard from him in a few days, but that's probably because he's still busy working on a Volkswagen.
What about Shazam?
I haven't heard her out here since then either. I don't know. I'm sure they're fine.
I still want to know where's a pound sign on a radio?
Oh, you gotta get your produce scale out for that, Cutter, and then you can read in pounds.
Okay.
Waving to that Cutter, Triple M.
Yeah, wave out there, Triple M.
Well, I just wanted to hear Sky because, you know, he was pretty faint on my radio there. I wanted to see how he sounds now.
Oh, tough boy.
Man, it's kind of like when I get off work, it's like the Maytag. I'm kind of like the Maytag man because it's a lonely place to be. Normally, there's no one out there.
With all that skip, you don't hear nobody out there?
Oh, at night when I get off work. I just got off work.
I see. Okay, usually I just sandbag, but I thought today I would just key up.
Oh, right on. It's nice hearing you out there.
Oh, Roger, yep, I used to if you sandbag.
Where's Deer Slayer been? I haven't heard him in a while.
Oh, he's out here. I seen him today.
He was out there today. I heard Dirtman talking to him, but he must have been in a hole or something because I couldn't hear him.
He was downtown shouting at Makey.
I talked to Full Boogie about 3 weeks ago. He's doing good.
10-4.
That's good to hear.
He says he can hear us out here, but we can't hear him. He's been trying, but yeah, he'll be able to get that station up. He's just been in the Mobile.
Where'd he move to again? I know it's someplace east and south somewhere, right?
Yeah, he moved to Georgia, but he works in Tennessee.
Gotcha. Well, if he gets a good base station going over there, I bet you we'll hear him. I mean, we've been hearing a lot of that skip.
Well, he's got that tower, and he's going to put it all up there. I think it's going to be like 85 feet up in the air.
Yeah, if I turn my beam on at him, I should be able to hear him if he has a good station or not.
Yeah, 10 on that.
So you're talking on an RCI, you say?
Yep, I'm talking on an RCI 2970 N3.
Oh, you got one of the new RCIs, okay. Well, I have an RCI 2990. I had built special back in 1991.
Yeah, I got a 2950 DX. I really like that radio. It works pretty good too.
Yeah, I have one of those. It does okay. It just sits out there in my shop.
Oh, right on. I want to get that new one, but god dang, they want a lot of money for that. Gonzo's got that one.
Oh, 10-4. Well, it's a nice radio, but it doesn't do everything I would like it to do, so I probably wouldn't buy it.
What do you want it to do?
FM?
Oh, that doesn't have FM on it? I thought it did.
Nope.
Wow, I didn't know that. I'll have to read that.
Yep.
What radio is it? It's that Superior Longhorn that's made by RCI.
Yeah, it's like a 500 or 600 watt radio.
Yeah, I think it's 600 watts. One of those real expensive ones, and it doesn't have FM?
That's right. I'm not knocking the radio at all. I mean, that's a nice radio. If I'm going to spend that much money on a radio, it better do everything.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Most of those ones that are up in that price range do have FM.
You'll be surprised how many radios up close to that price range only have AM, FM. It don't have sideband.
Is it classified a 10-meter radio?
Yes, it is.
Well, it's got FM on it.
No, it don't.
Not if it does a certain amount of power. There is power restrictions on those bands, even for ham operators for FM. That's why a lot of those big radios it'll cost you $1,000 but do like 400 or 500 watts. Those radios typically have FM on them, but they're an export radio because they can't be considered a ham radio. They do too much power on FM.
So like this radio here, I can go up to 29.6 FM and hit a repeater if I want, but I don't have a tone generator.
Yeah, 10.
28. No, 26805. That's an FM channel, you know.
Yeah, I was just saying legally, under the ham operators' rules, they're not allowed to use a certain amount of more than a certain amount of carrier on FM on the bands that those radios cover. So that's why, like, a lot of the RCIs and some of them didn't come with actual FM in them, is because they do more power than is legally allowable by the FCC for those ham bands, so they have to call them an export radio, which limits the where they can sell them and where they can ship them legally. So all the ones that have FM in them that do all those big power and they cost all that money, they're an export radio, because quite frankly you can't legally do that even if you're a ham operator. So even if you're using it as a ham radio, you can't do that much power on FM.
Like my Ranger, my RCI 69 VHP, Well, hell, it does 110 watts just out of the radio. And it does have FM.
Yeah, I don't remember what the limit is. I could look it up. But that was the difference between an export radio and something that was actually a 10-meter amateur radio.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever go down to 26805 during skip conditions, but holy cow, FM's just as good skip line as AM is.
Yeah, it's better. It's better. Yeah, I go to that channel quite a bit.
Yeah, 'cause you got your squelch turned all the way up, and so you don't hear any other background crap.
Well, not all the way up, but yeah. Set your squelch and just wait for the skip to come in. Yeah, oh yeah. Real good conditions going there.
The only place I don't go down is 12 meter when I go to... Those frickin' people, they're stuck up. I tell you what.
Oh yeah, ham radio, they go by a different protocol. Yeah, not my thing.
Well, I got some batteries charged up that I want to put back in some of my security lights, so I think I'll go do that. You guys have a great evening.
Have a good one, Cutter.
Yeah, have a good night there, Cutter.
And I looked it up. I guess it was the maximum effective radiated power for FM on 10 meters is 100 watts. So anything that can do more than 100 watts of FM carrier would be an export radio.
That's good to know. It's after 100 watts.
However, on AM and sideband, you if you're a general, you're limited to like 200 watts, but everybody else, if you're a tech, you're limited to 200 watts. Everybody else, general on up, is 1500 watts PEP.
Well, I guess I can run 200 watts.
Yeah, legally, if you're a tech license.
Yeah, I got my tech license. I've been thinking about getting my general. But I'm not stuck up. So it says 100 watts FM is what they call it? What phrase do you use?
Well, when you're dealing with 100 watts on FM, that's carrier. Because FM is all carrier frequency. It's frequency modulated. As opposed to Ancient Mary or amplitude modulation, where you have your modulation riding a carrier frequency.
Copy that, but what did they call that? 100 watts for FM was optimal? Is that what they said? Anything beyond 100 watt is what?
Illegal. 100 watt carrier is the maximum. What do they call it? They actually call it something, the ERP or whatever. Effective radiated power. Your maximum is 100 watts on FM.
Okay, effective. That's what I was looking for. Okay, thank you.
So if you have one of these 10 meter radios that says 10 meter radio on it, and it has FM, and it does more than 100 watts of FM carrier, it is not technically a legal 10-meter radio.
Copy that, yeah. Got it. So that's one of ICOM. No, ICOM falls within that because I noticed that every time they quoted FM, it was a lot lower. But they have portions of it where it'll be 200 watts, and this is a base station. All variable.
Yeah, but if you search off of eBay and punch in 10-meter radio, it'll come up with a 10-meter radio, but it'll have a channel selector with 40 channels on it.
Yeah, 10. Well, it just means that it can actually talk on the 10-meter band and is within the power restrictions to be called a 10-meter radio. And it's supposed to have 11 meters locked out of it, but not all of them do.
Right. Yeah, I was looking at one last night on YouTube. I forget what it was, and it might have been that President Richard. You push the channel selector, the channel selector knob. You push that in, and click to bump it through the bands or something.
I don't know about that. I know on my Anytone you can push that and it'll like jump 10 channels, or if you have it in frequency mode it'll jump bands that way.
Maybe that was it.
And I can tell it to do different things too. Like I can change all the buttons. The cool thing I like about this Anytone 6666 is it's got the exact same programming cable that plugs into the back, the same USB cable that the Strikers use for the 655 and the 955. So I can program my Strikers with the same cable I program my Anytone with.
Oh yeah, that is convenient.
And the software looks identical too for programming. It just, the 6666 has like a little devil icon, and then the Striker one just says Striker.
So the Anytone that has a tone squelch?
I believe so. I think it has pretty much everything like a 10-meter ham radio should have. I do believe it even has a CW key thing on the back. I'd have to look at that again. But I know it. No, it doesn't have CW, but it has AM, FM, upper and lower sideband, and then it has the what was it? It has like the CTS and shit like that for the repeaters for FM, and a frequency shift for it.
CTCSS tones, 37 different tones, and then I think it also has some digital tones or some tones. But yeah, that's cool. That's perfect.
There aren't very many 10-meter repeaters out there still, though. I think there's still one up on Orcas Island, and then there's one up in the Cascades somewhere I remember looking up, but there isn't any local ones anymore.
So who is that way out there?
Who do you mean? Well, the other guy, I guess, is Triple Nickel over here, and I'm WD-40 or Big Al. A lot of people call me different things.
I spoke with Jake from State Farm way the hell up there last night. So that's a big trip for Mossy Rock anyway.
Oh, is that 351 down there in Mossy Rock?
No, it's 468. Myself, Oscar.
468.
10-4. Well, I've heard of there's that 351 or something like that down there by you. But you're the first Mossy Rock station I've heard that loud.
I'm about almost
Well, that makes sense. That's why I'm hearing you. You got the altitude.
Yeah. Yeah, base of the antenna is probably, I don't know, 18 feet. And then, the base of it clears the crest of the roof. It's on the opposite side it's on the south side of the crest of the roof. The roof line runs east and west, so I'm looking north. I got an excellent shot north.
Waving to that Oscar Mike, Triple M.
Triple M? Yeah, we talked. Yeah. How you doing?
Not too bad.
Yeah, you're coming in here real good. Alright, sorry to interrupt. I was just curious. Yeah, get later. Bye.
You're not interrupting, at least I don't think you are.
No, I was just curious how far that one way off in the distance was coming from. Jake, the State Farm, he's like way up there. That was a pretty good trip. Long distance local.
Well, I don't know if you know where Triple M is, but he's out there, and we're over here, Triple Nickel, me, and Zodiac are all over here in the Olympia area. I'm in Olympia, almost to Lacey. And then, I guess the other guy, he's up there off of South Bay, so he's kind of North Olympia, and then Zodiac's, like, Tumwater.
I see. Yeah. You guys all hit me about the same, except for NAD.
Hey, do you get Kelso very good over there?
No, it's like through the mountain from me. Occasionally I do. There's this one guy, he's not Kelso, I think it's like Longview. Not really, somewhere out on the coast. But it's South Washington. It's near the coast. I can't remember where it is. But I just can't believe that he can make it to me because it's like he's shooting right through the mountain, or he's, I don't know, running the signal up on the mountain and it's just falling on me like a waterfall. I don't know how he's doing it, but he makes a pretty good trip.
Is that contractor?
Nah, I don't know who it is.
It was probably contractor, because he's up on the hill there quite a ways. We talked to him over here.
Yeah, he's up in Longview, up there, way up on the hill. I think he's almost like 1,000 feet, too.
Yeah, I think I checked it out on some, I don't know, website. It's 1,060 is where I am.
Yeah, he's up there about 1,000 feet or so. I mean, I don't know if it's 1,000, but it's up there. But yeah, contractor's probably the loudest thing down there when he's keying up, and it's just because he's got the altitude on everybody down there.
I got a pretty good view of the lake, Mayfield Lake. I can see like Kinslaw State Bridge or State Park Bridge. So I got a pretty good view of some of the lake, not all of it, because it goes around the corner, around the bend. And there's a hillside between me and it, but for the most part, I have a clear shot north. You can set up a time-lapse camera north and, well, north by northwest, and I can see, you used to be able to see the steam plant pumping. You know, it takes all day to make a video. It's about 20 seconds long. And you can see the steam plant pumping.
Hey, do you see the windmills over there on Bald Hill?
At night, yeah, they're red.
Right on. When I put this antenna up here the other day, the guy that put it up there says he can see them too.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. We take Scale Jack Road and drive up there. In summertime, you can go all over up there. 200 watts up there, you can hear the whole world.